blog, Joyous Garden. Happy spring. It's been a while since I've done a long form video, so it's about time. But this one is all about Peperomia Hope. So if you're looking for a plant that's as cute as can be and a breeze to maintain, stick around. And I'm just gonna skim over some of these points here, and as usual there's a blog post with a lot more details to go along with this, with more information in it. The link will be right down below this video. Just click show more and you'll see a bunch of links down there. This will be the first one. And speaking of links and blog posts, I've been working on updating a lot of blog posts, and I just did the peace lily. It's a very popular plant. I'm not redoing the videos, but I am updating the blog posts. So be sure to check out our website. Just go Google in any plant you're, or just type in any plant you're searching for, and you'll probably find something. All right, I had to lower the camera down because this plant is so low. And here is the darling Peperomia Hope. Show it to you here. Oops. Get the grow pot in the pot all beautiful. And I have a total of 8 or 9 Peperomias, and the care is generally the same for all of them. I live in the Arizona desert in Tucson, Arizona, and I find them all to be really easy. So they're great for our homes, which tend to have dry air. And here in the desert, it's even drier. I'm not going to haul all my Peperomias out here, but here's 2 other ones. This is the beautiful watermelon Peperomia, and this is the ripple Peperomia here. And you can see how they're all different in form and leaf and color even. Now this back here is a ponytail palm, so that is not a Peperomia, but these all are, and you get a little better view on this one too. So let's decorate these plants right there. Oh, there you go. You can all be friends and touch. As I say, they're kissing cousins. So in terms of size, it is a relatively, well, it is a very low growing plant. It's a trailing plant. It's commonly sold in 4 and 6 inch pots. Mine is in a 6 inch, and it's the longest trail is about 32 inches long, and it's still growing. Now on to growth rate. The growth rate is slow to moderate. Mine grows moderately because I have it in very bright light and it's warm, so it grows faster. It's actually putting out this nice new growth here, but on the average it's a slow to moderate. And how this plant is used, it is used as a tabletop plant or a hanging plant. And I always like to say what the big draw of a plant is. This one is very succulent like. I just think it's darling, but it reminds me of string of pearls on steroids. And speaking of string of pearls, I want to show you my string of pearls now because it's really growing like crazy. So a quick string of pearls break, and then back to the Peperomia. Okay, so that's my lovely string of pearls. I've done a ton of posts on string of pearls, so be sure to check those out. So back to Hope. I zoomed in on the plant because it's a little hard to see. It's, you know, so low growing, so you can get a better idea of it. It has almost like, you know, watermelon veining in the leaves there, and nice fat stems. So we're going to start with a light. So it looks best in moderate or highlight, but with no direct sun. Mine is right next to a south-facing window, but it doesn't receive any direct light at all. If you have it in lower light, the growth will be slower and it'll get more leggy, and the leaves will be smaller, and that is your cue to move it to a spot with higher light. Okay, on to watering. The one thing I can say about this is go easy. Those thick stems and leaves hold water, so you don't want to water it too often. Don't drown it at all. I let this soil dry out and then I water it again. In the summer, it's usually every 7 days, but again, we're very bright and hot here. And in the winter, it's about every 2 weeks, so adjust it for your climate, also the pot size and the soil it's in, but just keep it, it's better to keep it on the drier side than to keep it too wet. Okay, regarding temperature and humidity, average is fine. It would prefer more, but as I said, they do well. All my peperomias do well here. And right now the humidity is 19%, which is really low. So they make a fine houseplant. Fertilizing and feeding, I do it the same as all of my tropical houseplants. I alternate between Grow Big and Sea Grow, and I do it every 4 weeks during the growing season because things grow like crazy here, and that is for me mid-February through the end of October. Now for you in a different climate, you might fertilize April through September. So again, adjust it for your growing zone and your climate. Propagation. Peperomias are easy to propagate, and this one you can do from stem cuttings or leaf cuttings. I would do it in a soil mix, in a succulent and cactus mix. You can also do it in water, or you can divide it. Might be tricky business to get an even divide on it, but I could probably get 3 plants out of this. There's one coming here, one here, and one there. On to pruning. Now, I've only pruned this plant one time, and that's when I got a couple of the trails stuck in a drawer, and I just had to cut them off. But you would want to prune it to control the growth if it was getting too long, or if you wanted to encourage it to bush out and fill in a bit up here, or if you were going to propagate it. Easy to do. Just make sure whatever pruning implement you use is clean and sharp. Now, in terms of pests, mine have never had any. None of my peperomias have ever gotten anything, but I've heard that they can be susceptible to mealybugs, scale. Mealybugs are a scale insect, and mealybugs, scale, and aphids. So keep your eyes out for those. I've done blog posts on all of those to show you what they look like and how you treat them. So moving on to toxic to pets. And this one is non-toxic. I just always include this because I have cats, and I know a lot of you have cats and dogs and whatever other pets you have, but this one's non-toxic. I get my information from the ASPCA website. Now, in terms of flowers, yes, this one does flower just like the other peperomias. I believe I've shown you some peperomia flowers on my other plants, but it's a spike. It just looks like a stem almost, and then it just kind of curves a little bit. It's green, and that's actually the spike, and the flowers are teeny tiny. They're pretty inconspicuous, but they're fun. So one last time, there is a blog post with more information on this plant. I will also leave links below to other posts that I've done on specific peperomias. I've done one on the ripple peperomia, the baby rubber plant, the watermelon plant. I think I've done a general one. I think I've done a repotting one. So there's a bunch for you to peruse down below in the show me box, or the show more box, I think it is. So I hope you have found this video all about Pepperomia Hope care to be helpful. It's such a wonderful, easy care, almost no-brainer plant to add to your collection. So I upload videos here on a semi-regular basis for sure. It's all about gardening, both indoors and outdoors. I would love to have you come back. If you are subscribed, thank you. And as always, I thank you for all your likes and your comments. I really appreciate them. Now let's get into our indoor gardens and make our worlds a more beautiful place. I thank you for watching, and I'll catch you in the next video. Bye.